thank these public servants behind me, and I could spend the rest of the afternoon thanking individuals. I don't think I've ever, in my 50-plus years of public service, going through crisis at the state and local level, seen the collaboration between the different levels of government and certainly the departments within the city of Houston. We're here at the Emergency Center where we've heard from 22 department directors about the collaboration and the layers of support for the citizens of Houston. We're still in a local declared disaster situation because we're still in life support circumstances. We were moving into recovery yesterday, but we've discovered that there are still areas of life and death that deserve this disaster declaration. Obviously, the impact of the exceptionally strong storm, very intense, very sudden, was Northwest Houston, Heights, Central Business District, and the East End. Other areas were impacted, but this is where the most severe damage was experienced. Obviously, energy is what is the focus of the city of Houston. CenterPoint has been a very active, accomplished partner. At the height of the storm, we had 922,000 in our region without service. It's down to just under 300,000 now. An hour ago, it was 312. Hour by hour, the restoration is being experienced. We have 7,000, we meaning CenterPoint and its partners, have 7,000 workers working on repair, 2,000 mutual assistance workers, 1,000 persons working on vegetation management across our region. Now, as I speak to the work we have left, we still have 56 schools without power. HISD will have school tomorrow. Number of schools are without power. They will be served food. There's one school that's been taken out of commission. It'll be, its students will be transferred, but we will have school tomorrow. City services, we have sanitation with us today. They will start their recovery mode in the morning. If you have debris, trees, which so many of us do, place them on the curb. We're going to be working around the clock to get that material picked up. Municipal courts will not be holding court tomorrow. They will provide for Tier 1 employees in case someone needs a magistrate. And other than that, we're asking people to minimize your travel. That was something I want to emphasize about nearly every department I mentioned, or every city service. We still have severe challenges with our street lights, our traffic lights. I want to jump right quickly into an exclusion zone. We need the press and everyone to help us with the message that from Louisiana to Travis, McKinney to Polk will be an exclusion zone. Workers will be in this footprint working on broken windows. There's still dangers downtown due to flying glass. They're restoring the glass. Workers will be present. The HPD, assisted by the DPS, will be enforcing this inclusionary area. There's 2,500 traffic lights in the city of Houston. 401 of them have been impacted by the storm. 292 with no power. 64 just flashing red lights. 45 are severely damaged. I can't thank TxDOT enough. They've brought technicians from around the state. They're loaning us generators at intersections that have lost their power, but I can't emphasize enough the dangers of traveling where the traffic lights are broken. I saw a severe crash at Durham and 610 yesterday. The feeder roads are particularly damaged. Dangerous. You've got to slow down, not only look out for yourself, but look out for the other person. We're going to have disaster recovery centers. We're starting at Del Mar, Denver Harbor, 5th Ward, Northeast Multi-Service Center, and we'll be observing other locations, working with FEMA, who has representatives with us today. Metro will have normal service tomorrow, with the exception of park and ride to downtown. They'll continue the park and ride to the Med Center. So thank you for our partners over at Metro. Now here's where we still have unfinished business among all the other topics, but the one that I'm particularly upset about. Independent assisted living facilities are doing a disservice to their residents. Not all of them. There's responsible people, but we have discovered at a couple of locations, Independence Hall on Burris Street, the residents were abandoned by management Thursday evening. They haven't had energy. They haven't had food. Their insulin has been ruined. We were notified of this, and I can't begin to tell you the response that was so impressive by Houston Fire, Houston PD, the Health Department, the Salvation Army, the Red Cross. All the stakeholders ran to Independence Hall, and that's where I'm headed at the conclusion of this press conference. We have to, and we have state emergency center representatives here from the governor's office. We need to talk to Austin and the state health department about doing their routine inspections. Independence Hall actually has a red tag on it for lack of permitting for some of their safety precautions. So there's a lot of things that we're discovering during this disaster. One, how great our city employees are, how people come together. The unity of Houston stands out. We're known for it. And together we're going to get through with this. But it's also exposing some deficiencies. And one is health care for our seniors, safety, services for our seniors, where someone, their family members, are paying monies. And I would also caution families, check on your loved ones, check on your seniors in the independent assisted living sites. Yesterday, the Heights Tower on 19th Street, brought to us by Councilmember Kamen, was a focal point. Those folks were without services. But I'm headed to Independence Hall, and we're going to hold the management responsible. If they want to do business and be licensed in the state of Texas and the city of Houston, they're going to have to care for their clients. Above that, I can emphasize that we're going to do public safety. I'm talking about now law enforcement. DPS, working with HPD, is protecting our property. They're protecting us with traffic enforcement. So public safety is still one of our highest priorities. And the bad guys who would like to take advantage of this, don't even think about it. We're watching you. We're up and armed and prepared to protect people's properties and lives. Other than that, as I started out, I've never been more impressed with a group of public servants. They'll never be on the ballot, I don't think. They'll never be on the ballot, but they're truly public servants. And every level, our 3 county commissioners, and Tom Ramsey, Adrian Garcia, and Briones, have been fantastic. They called me Thursday evening. We'll send you our commissioner precinct equipment, resources. I can go on and on. The collaboration, the surrounding areas, County Judge, Montgomery County, Keogh, Zimmerman, Mayor, Sugar Land, Lake Jackson has sent us stuff, Austin has sent us stuff, San Antonio. People want to help Houston, and it's a tribute to our leadership standing behind me, and it's a tribute to the people of Houston. We're in this together. We are united. So let's go forward. We have a lot of work left, but I couldn't be more pleased with the response of city government to the residents that so badly depend on us. Any questions? For heat? Well, you know we have cooling centers, and I'll be glad to list them for you. It was fairly slow yesterday. It's increased. We're giving free rides to the cooling centers. You call 311. Metro will get you there. I will ask the health department. I know he's on family business today. Do you know Chief Munich? But it was fairly slow at first, and of course communications going out, and the darn heat. You know, we were very. It's getting hotter as we talk. So, Chief Pena, would you like to give us some numbers on that?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. Let me first say this. I can't say enough about the first responders that are going out there and running their tails off these last 4 days since Thursday. That includes police officers, firefighters, and our communications personnel. They've been doing an outstanding job out here, and in addition to all the public officials and the public services that are standing behind us. You asked about the heat-related calls. We were averaging about, today we have about 18, that's the highest we've had, but we've been averaging between 5 and 10 per day since Thursday. We expect that if the power continues to be out, the longer it goes, the higher that number is going to get. That has actually not been the highest call type that we've gotten. It's been down wires, and it's been gas leaks that we've been responding to. So that, if I may, Mayor, just
Sure.
so I just want to make sure that I communicate some safety messages, because as the power continues to be out, more people are using generators. We have responded to calls where carbon monoxide has been an issue. So we want to, again, remind our public that if you're going to use a generator, use it outside. Use it at least 20 feet from the structure. Don't run it inside the garage, okay? Even if the doors are open, that needs to be outside, because it doesn't take long for that carbon monoxide to accumulate inside the home. The other thing is, as the power comes back up, make sure you unplug your electrical devices. When the power comes up, we want to make sure that they don't short out and cause other issues downstream. So with that, I mean, this is an opportunity for us to show a little charity, a little care. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly, because a lot of times we don't know what they have, what they're able to do, until it's too late. And one last thing, for those that don't have power and you don't have air conditioning, one quick way to cool off is take a cool shower once or twice a day. That goes a long way to, it'll keep you from dying, for sure. So with that, Mayor, I'll get back to you.
Thank you, Chief.
You know, let me get you a good number, but I know that we've had at least one confirmed death out from carbon monoxide. Seguro que sí. Sí, mire, hemos respondido más o menos un promedio de 18 llamadas este día acerca de la temperatura, pero desde el jueves hasta ahorita llevamos un promedio de 5 a 10 llamadas de temperatura alta, emergencias. Queremos recomendar y recordar al público que si usan un generador, que lo usen afuera de la casa, que no esté cerca de las ventanas, y no lo usen dentro de la cochera, aunque las puertas estén abiertas. Ya hemos tenido una muerte de monóxido de carbono en este evento, y queremos prevenir otras tragedias. Aparte de eso, fugas de gas, si huelen el gas natural, que salgan de su hogar y llamen al 911. Nosotros respondemos para averiguar de dónde viene la fuga. Y si pueden desconectar, desenchufar sus cosas electrónicas, porque cuando si hay un apagón y vuelve la luz, muchas veces puede haber un corto que causen otros problemas. Así es que con eso, que tengan pendiente de sus vecinos, que tengan pendiente de las personas, especialmente de las que tienen ya mayor de años, porque la temperatura va a seguir subiendo. Queremos que todos estén bien, ¿sí?
La gente puede tomar varios baños al día, usted mencionó eso.
Seguro que sí. Mire, una forma de mantenerse frío es tomar varios baños al día. Eso puede prevenir hasta que la muerte, sí, porque no toma mucho tiempo para la temperatura que suba y pueda causar una tragedia. Thank you.
Couple of notes. I think I mentioned that CenterPoint plans this evening to be 80% complete with the restoration of power. Back to public safety, law enforcement, the collaboration is making a huge difference. We've talked about it in recent months. Chief Satterwhite was actually in charge of installing the collaboration and networking with surrounding constables, the sheriff's office, with the other law enforcement agencies in Houston, and it's showing benefits this weekend. We're working with our constables, other law enforcement agency, and that DPS involvement is making a huge difference in protecting downtown, certainly in the exclusion zone, but also with traffic enforcement. And Chief Satterwhite, I'll be glad for you to address any particular
Mayor, before that, what is the situation in downtown for this week?
it's an exclusion zone because it's not safe. We still are dealing with broken glasses. It's got to be glasses, either windows boarded up. Some of the glass actually is special glasses that have to be ordered. So to protect the public, we've got a list of some of the buildings actually are going to be closed, but we're discouraging, not only discouraging, I'll let the chief describe it, we're actually barricading and preventing people from traveling about a 6 block area.
Would this affect your courts, your criminal courts, civil courts?
They're not in that footprint. Most of the footprint was back over towards Smith Street, Pierce, and Louisiana. And let me bring in the professional that has helped us design this and safeguard the public and the workers. We are emphasizing do as less travel in the area, at least through tomorrow. I think by this time tomorrow we will have had another work day. I made the decision to lessen the travel by asking city employees to remain home. The business community is cooperating, closing some of their facilities. So together we're protecting that downtown footprint, and it's also allowing some of the resources to go through our community. Well, obviously, and I do want to bring up the chief, Independence Hall is deplorable. We haven't been able to contact some of the residents behind their closed doors, and HPD and Houston Fire is going to do whatever it takes to get inside those units. I think it's like 260 units. We haven't been able to make contact with some of those residents. Some that we have contacted are dehydrated. They've been staying cool by staying in their tubs with ice. Not ice, they don't have ice. They've got ice right now because we got involved. They haven't had any food since Thursday. They haven't had any power since Thursday, and they've been alone, scared, and in life-threatening situations. So we discovered it. Houston Fire immediately got over there. Centerpoint got the power turned on this afternoon. HPD's over there protecting the residents. We're all headed that way. Deplorable conditions. We've also got a word in the last hour or two that Councilmember Peck has a high-rise with seniors in it, and the elevators are out. It is outrageous what managers are doing to the residents that they're supposed to care for. And I would admonish the families, check on your loved ones. The Heights Tower, same circumstances. They were without power. They were without services. Councilmember Kamen brought it to our attention. She got over there. We got the resources, and Heights Tower is functioning satisfactorily today. But what our worst fears are is what we don't know. Are the facilities across Houston that no one's been able to contact? We can only fix what we know about. But I tell you what, with state resources, we can do an inspection on a regular basis, don't license them, and we have a lot of work to do. But we're trying to get through this disaster. We're in a life safety mode as I talk to you, and we're going to do everything we can. Nope, they abandoned them. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the reason I'm outraged. Managers abandon the locations. We have residents locked in their room. We do not know their status, but we'll know. As soon as we get through this press conference, we're going to go in, we're going to knock down doors we have to save lives. And HPD will manage it. Houston Fire will be in the operation. The health department's present. Centerpoint's over there turned on energy. The Salvation Army, the Red Cross has ice. We're saving lives as we talk, but we got to get through here in a minute and get over and get involved. Obviously, I've even thought about is there criminal neglect involved, but we're not going to go that route. We want to save lives first. That's our highest priority. But yeah, there's all kind of let's see the outcome of this intervention. But people will be held accountable. There's 260 units. We haven't been able to make contact with all the clients, but we will, whatever it takes, including intervention by HPD and Houston Fire on a unit-by-unit basis. Let me yield to Chief Satterwhite as to any precautions and all precautions that are being taken to protect property. we're always concerned when establishments lose their electricity, the vulnerabilities, and that's the message I'm sending out to the bad guys. Don't think about it. HPD is prepared.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your leadership, and thanks to all of my colleagues here behind me and all of our departments, and especially to the men and women that are out there in the field. Not just Houston Police, but Houston Fire, Houston Public Works, and so many others, Health Department. I'm going to get in trouble because I'm not going to be able to name them all, but not, city, state, everybody's jumping in. Really appreciate that. So we're continuing to respond to calls out there, and HPD is doing a really good job of that. Our officers are getting there. I want to ask the public for a little bit of patience. The lower priority calls, the ones that are not, something dire occurring right then, we're a little backed up on those, and that's because our officers are tasked with a lot of other responsibilities in terms of the exclusion zones that the mayor's talking about, other locations that we need to keep the public safe and not venture into, different roadways and intersections that are highly traveled that still are out of power. So what we ask of the public in that regard is, because it's going to get dark, and CenterPoint's doing a great job of getting power back on as rapidly as possible, but the simple fact is we're going to go into another night with a lot of areas that are still very dark, and the power will be out, and those intersections will still not be on, and of course at night you can't see that, and you could possibly drive right through, and that's where we can have some horrendous crashes. So we're asking the public to maybe one more night to not venture out, to enjoy their time at home with their families, and everybody stay there as much as possible. Certainly after it gets dark, it'll make our life a lot easier. We'll be able to do a lot better at protecting everybody if we have fewer people out on the road. In addition, I will say that we're out there patrolling to ensure that nobody's trying to take advantage of your businesses and all that, because I know you're going to be concerned about that. We've had 117 burglaries that I can tell right now since the storm hit on Thursday night. We have arrested 15 individuals and charged them with burglary. So we are out there. So the message to those that would be wanting to go out there and try to take advantage of this situation, don't do it. We are out there, and we will see you, because the rest of the public is enjoying their time at home, which makes it a whole lot easier. Another thing that I would ask of the public, and let's see if is again, on top of just staying home but also, like the mayor said, we have a lot of facilities out there that not are just the big ones, but we also have a lot of houses that are kind of locations where we might have 4 or 5 persons living there in kind of a communal style nature, and a lot of them do have medical issues. So we are asking the public, and family members specifically, to reach out to their loved ones if they know that they're at these types of homes, to make sure that they're okay. We can't see everything. A lot of it we rely on the public calling us, and then we respond. But if we don't want to miss anything, so that is a huge ask of the public. And just finally, I just want to say I really am proud of the city. But sadly, we did lose several souls. 4 in Houston right now attributed to the storm, and several more in the region. So I ask that everybody pray for their families.
Very good.
I don't have the data to give you that comparison. I'll get that. I do know that times like this are often times when sadly some people will see this as an opportunity to go out there and commit, prey upon others. So we started capturing that data because we knew that it would be something that the public would want to know about, and also we wanted to assure them that we are patrolling again. We've made multiple arrests, and if we find somebody out there breaking into somebody's business, we won't catch everyone, but we definitely don't want anybody to think this is a chance to go out there and take advantage. So I don't have that data, so I don't want to be inaccurate. Let me get that for you to compare that to, say, a previous weekend from Thursday to Sunday, something like that over the last, and I could probably do a little bit better in that. There's a lot of factors that go into that in terms of do we have events, do we have other things going on that might drive that number up and down. So, but in general, I am very thankful for the public. Everybody is really, this city comes together better than anywhere. But there's no doubt, no secret that we do have bad actors out there. Mm-hmm. that night we did have different challenges. We had our 911 system get challenged a couple of times. We had other issues. This was a bad storm. It moved fast, but it did a lot of damage in its wake. And in that process, we lost power. And when you lose power, a lot of systems go down. Things have to go into reboot. Sometimes it's not perfect. You know, technology is not perfect. So we had all of those challenges. The calls did back up. There's no question. We had to revert to 311 for non-emergency calls, and then that backed up. So there's no question we were dealing with a lot of challenges from Thursday night, and things have gotten better. And I know that there are other gentlemen and ladies behind me that could report out that better than I. But the good news is that we seem to be able to better respond now and continuing to improve that response. So I would actually refer to Director Mock or Director Bunick, who is behind me for this facility. I don't think we went to paper, but we did have the system get challenged, and we did have some power issues, and it did create some issues for us. So I would better put the person that's the subject matter expert behind me on that, if you don't mind. All right.
So Thursday, we did lose center point energy power. We have 2 electrical feeds, but we also have 3 backup generators here at the Houston Emergency Center. They kicked on immediately. We never lost power per se in the building. Everything was up and running. We did have some challenges with some of the systems, and like Chief Satterwhite just said, when there was a cutover from regular power to generator power, it did take the system a little bit of time to boot up. Within a couple hours, we were all back to normal. We never had to go to paper and pencil. We were able to answer 911 calls. There were some delays. We were able to dispatch police and fire. We have some backup plans, and all of our plans came into place and properly worked.
One thing I want to mention, we all know the intensity and the suddenness of this. You know, you're probably familiar. I was at a Little League game, and it was very dangerous, even once we got in our car. So we're learning some deficiencies. For instance, our multi-service centers, which have become cooling centers, and in the winter, heating centers, we're finding out they don't have generators. So I'm learning some of the conditions I've inherited. We're talking to state resources, we're talking to the White House about how we could get some additional funding and resources to prepare for sudden, intense storms. Because our weather patterns, we all know, have become an issue. The shock of this one was we didn't see it coming. We didn't have days to plan. So that speaks to the training, hours upon hours of training by all these different departments and the resources that they were able to gather and come together. And I just want to thank Houstonians for looking out for their neighbors. We saw neighbors with chainsaws clearing paths, and it's just, once again, Houston demonstrating how special we are in terms of coming together. And we do want to express our condolences to the 4 lives that were lost. I've seen the reports, and it was intense and sudden. Automobile with the passenger lives taken with folks in the back seat. It's just horrible. But with those conditions, we came together, worked through the night, Thursday and Friday night. Things have gotten so much better, but we still have work to do. We got to deal with those independent assisted living locations. We also have to start debris cleanup. Now sanitation becomes a first responder. In fact, I think Public Works is a first responder. I can't begin to tell you the collaboration between Public Works when we started getting outside resources. We just blended together, and we've got a lot of work left to do. Any other questions?
When Houstonians can go back to normal?
I think there'll be no set time. We're going to continue to improve. I do think some of the downtown buildings will take a week or more. We've got to still continue to do an assessment of all of our facilities. HISD will be working through the night tomorrow to see what the true status of some of their facilities are. So there's no set tone. And some of our experts behind us can tell you when they will change from a recovery or life safety mode, recovery mode, and then it'll be long-term recovery, and that's where FEMA enters the picture. We've set up locations. We'll be opening them Tuesday. There'll be a mobile FEMA site application at Fondy Recreational Center at Houston Avenue and Memorial Drive. So I can't begin to tell you all the work. It's even I tell my directors when I get their reports, what's amazing is the folks, the rank and file in their departments that are working, collaborating with one another that we don't even hear about, but we see the results, the safety, the improvement of infrastructure, our traffic signals. I mean, you go down to Shepherd and it's been fixed. You go a little further, you still got some work to do. So there's just a lot of mission still left, but I'm very proud. I want to thank Houstonians for caring. Be patient, be safe, minimize your driving, and look out for your loved ones and your neighbors. I got to go to work, okay?